Alright, there is, Jesus Christ, there is a good and constructive and helpful way to make this video, but there's also a toxic and bitter way to make this video as well. Hello everyone, my name is Sen, and I am going to be here in this video talking a bit about content. Content to me is very important, and I'm dropping frames right now. Alright, content is the way in which we differentiate ourselves from one person to another. The types and quality of content kind of reinforces how good someone considers a channel. Everyone can do the same thing. Everyone can stream fighting games or CSGO, FPS, League of Legends, etc. The list goes on. Now, recently I actually asked, here, let me bring it up and make sure I'm not kind of skewing things. Alright, so in recent news, when it comes down to League of Legends, all chat has been disabled. Now, I asked a friend of mine, Brendan, you guys all know him, probably, maybe, I don't know. I asked him to make some content about it and talk about it. Be a streamer and talk about it. Share your insight, pop off. I said, okay, now be a content creator and talk about it. He sent me the triple question mark, the classic, the Mario block. I said, make some content and talk about it. And he says he does not need to. And that is kind of a bit of the topic at hand today. The fact that he is absolutely right. He does not need to make content. He does not need to talk about the implications and what kind of comes out of disabling all chat. I want to go into a bit of like the mindset first. What I would assume, and I haven't directly asked him, so it's just me kind of thinking for myself about how his brain works. Like, this is not what he said. This is my interpretation of what I think he would be thinking while saying this. The fact that he's saying he does not need to is fine. He does not need to. You don't need to make content. That's okay. If that is the path you want to take, if that is the road you want to travel, that's totally fine. And I assume it comes from a place of people have already made this content, people have already talked about it. What can I add to this? What more can I add that is actually like valuable? And that is totally up to you. Like, I don't know. I don't know what you'd be able to add, but if you do have something valuable to say on the topic, by all means do so. Put it out there, because there could be something that you're saying that someone else is not saying, or even if you are saying something that is the exact same, there's also a way you can present it that kind of hits better, that kind of settles with people a bit better. I mean, what am I doing? I have an entire channel. I have a second channel where I make some retrospectives. I've made a couple podcasts, but I'm kind of disregarding those right now. And as far as the retrospectives, people have made retrospectives before on the games I've talked about. I made a Last of Us, the first one, Last of Us Part 1 retrospective, which I very much enjoyed. Like, I spent a number of time talking about that game at length, and you'll have to excuse me, I'm sick, I'm not feeling great. So that kind of adds to everything. I'm tired. It's actually super early in the morning. It's 4:30. I'm sick, so trying my best to create a solid delivery without kind of coughing my face off. But yeah, I talked at length for it became about a 10-minute video, but I spent a number of time writing about that game, which is a game that came out in 2013. I'm sure everyone had more than enough time to say their piece on that title. Why would I possibly throw my name, throw my time and work and effort into that ring of fire when people have already done it? Well, that's because, I feel as if like I have a particular way of delivering things, and maybe I can touch up on like something that no one else has talked about. Maybe the people that have seen my content haven't seen these other people's content because they never thought to look into the realm of retrospectives until they saw my video. Who knows? Sometimes that's how it goes. Like, I have made guitar lessons, which are very popular. Have gotten like thousands, if not tens of thousands of views. So I've made popular content before. Like, I kind of have some understanding of how it works. Like, I stream and play fighting games. It's not very popular inherently. Fighting games aren't a huge genre as far as gaming is concerned. You would have much better luck in League of Legends or Dota or Valorant or what have you. In a game that reaches a far larger audience than my own. I love fighting games. I fuck with fighting games. I think they're very interesting. I kind of derailed myself a little bit. Let me see if I can kind of collect my thoughts here. Is there a chance that people have already maybe have said what you said before? Possibly. I think there's a large majority of people, but I think the perspective is interesting as well. So let's take a look at what are the first things you see when you search League All Chat disabled. My internet's being kind of slow right now. I'm streaming, so it doesn't help. You have Ross Boomsocks, kind of a meme content creator, a meme-like content creator. I don't know who Pants Our Dragon is. Double Lift, a professional player. And then Tyler One. Those are the first few results you get when you look at League All Chat disabled. Just that in itself, I'm sure there's a ton more people that have talked about this, but yeah, freaking for some reason Pokemon stream fails comes up, so that's that's pretty interesting right there. Very prevalent to League of Legends All Chat, I would say. But there's the perspective as well. These are people of notable, like, they're very notable. And in pars, like, that could be discouraging. You have all these people kind of putting their eyes on, like, oh, yeah, these people have a lot more notoriety. It's not like I'm doing anything inherently original. No one's going to watch this. But that's not necessarily true. Because you can present it in a way that's kind of benefits your perspective. You, so using Brandon as an example here, because he's kind of who we're talking about at this moment, you have a unique perspective of not having a lot of notoriety in that sense. Ross Boomsocks, like, he's a very competent player, he's very good. I would say, I don't know how competitively he is with this game, I don't know what rank he is, but you can essentially establish in the beginning of the video, or like whatever, all your accolades. So you can say, hi, my name is blank, or Moo Pengu. Check me out on Twitch if you like. I am gold whatever. I think he's gold 4 or something like that. I'm a casual player. And these are my mains. This is how much time I've spent in the game. So on and so forth. You can do something along those lines. And I think that's a good way to start the video. And then you can kind of establish that, hey, I'm speaking almost exclusively from a casual point of view. Like, we're going to be talking and touching on the more competitive side of things. Oh man, yeah, that's me being sick. We can talk and touch on the more competitive side of things, but from my point of view, it's going to be exclusively casual. So, and then go on and talk about, like, what it's like being the common person as far as a League of Legends player is. Like, I don't make a living off this game. This is not my career, so on and so forth. And then, what is your views? So, I think disabling all chat is bad because it removes an element of playing the game. It removes a piece of the mental game as far as League of Legends is concerned. So much like teabagging in fighting games, it attacks the mental. When you type in all chat, your mom gay, your mom big gay, that like attacks the mental. Like, it's an attempt to make them frustrated. Like, it has a chance to self-tilt your team or whatever at you, but it also has a chance of tilting your intended target. If you tell Johnny Donuts 69420 that your mom big gay, maybe he's gonna get a little bit pissed off at that. Maybe he's gonna throw or flame or whatever. I personally don't know why they chose to remove this. I think it's weird. I think it's stupid. Especially because sometimes it's a means of communicating that a player on someone's team is AFK. So usually when someone's AFK, and if you don't know what AFK means, it means away from keyboard. Everyone at the end of the game may or may not report the player. It depends. If they give legitimately good reason, typically they'll communicate like, hey, this player's AFK, don't report them because their wife is pregnant and they have to leave desperately. Or, yeah, if your Yasuo jungle leaves at 2 minutes and 35 seconds because he says you all suck and you guys are the reason he's feeding, then that's probably a good means and grounds of reporting and telling the enemy team, like, oh, hey, report this person at the end of the game. We're going to surrender. Sucks. I'm not sure if that's the hill to die on from the casual point of view, but maybe for, competitive worlds, whatever, pro league, I can totally understand disabling all chat. What's the purpose of it? I think it's weird too, because I'm pretty sure you can just disable or mute chat in general, so having this permanently removed as a feature is kind of weird to me, because you can do it all yourself. I've actually made friends on the enemy team. Like, I've played with people that I've played against because they're like, oh, hey bro, you're like pretty cool, you want to join up, you want to queue with us? And I've actually played games with people because they're super cool in all chat. Kind of with all this being said, like, it feels like a bit of a drop of the ball. And once again, I do want to reinforce that yes, he is absolutely right. He does not have to make content. Like, it's not his job. When you play a game, playing a game is easy. Playing a game is fun to some capacity. Depends if you're feeding or not. But just talking about playing a game in general, any game, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be competitive. It doesn't have to be league. It could be a single player experience. When you play a game, the next step is streaming you playing that game. The next easiest step, the next easiest thing for you to do. Maybe the step before that is to upload your clips. PS4 or 5 or Xbox 1000 will save some of your clips from a game. Be like, oh, hey, like, do you want to post these clips? The next step above that is streaming you playing the game. The next easiest thing, it's not that much harder. You don't even, you can do it and not be good at it, but you're still doing it and it's still easy, because, even if you're bad at it, who cares? Next step, streaming doesn't take that much work. Just streaming in general, it doesn't take that much work. If streaming is your career, however, that's different. If you're streaming all fucking day, 8 to 10 hours, even less than that, so 6-8 hours, like a full-time job, it is your full-time job, then it can be work, because you're taking energy that whole time, potentially every day, maybe Monday through Thursday, maybe Monday through Friday. I don't know what streamer schedules are, but it can be exhausting, because your goal as a streamer, and a popular streamer, is to be at least entertaining or very good at a video game, and sometimes both. Sometimes you have the miracle fusion where you are extremely good at this game, people love your personality, you're very funny and charismatic, you are entertaining. And then being good at a game that takes, potentially a lot of focus on top of that, it can be very hard. I totally get it. Streaming can be hard. It can be very draining, especially when you do it 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours every day, or every other day or something. But as a casual streamer, it's not that hard. It is the slightly harder step of you just playing the game in general. Next step, harder than that, would be making content. Making content, I think there's a misconception about what I'm talking about, as far as maybe on Brandon's part. Making content can be as good and as simple as talking about the thing or topic that you want to talk about at length. If you have something valuable to say, if you have good, meaningful insight from, someone that's put in multiple thousands of hours in this game, I think you have a voice, and it's up to you to facilitate it. Twitch is a platform. Your goal on Twitch is to build that platform. What is the way you build your platform other than streaming? It's making content that is valuable to a crowd of people that make them want to reinvest themselves into your stream. Watching your YouTube video or whatever, or VOD, what have you, and if they find this interesting, it'll make them want to come to your stream, watch it all live, and that will help reinforce your platform. You have a chance. Do not drop the ball. I hope I handled this well. There definitely was a way to fuck this video up. I don't know if I did. I don't know if it just comes across as me being salty. That's not the goal here. It is, the goal of this video and me talking about this was to be informative. It was to be helpful to some capacity, And this could be helpful to not just Brandon, but someone else potentially. I've actually talked to Brandon a bit about like making a video talking about and discussing patch notes, and he kind of had the same point of view, which it's like, I don't need to. You're right, you don't need to, but you potentially have something valuable to offer. Naturally, as someone who has played the game a lot, you're going to have thoughts and feelings about like the overall state of the game changing. So, characters getting buff, whatever. Let's say Ezreal's getting buff. His Q and W are getting buffed, whatever. From the perspective of Brandon, you know, maybe like he can say like, you know, I have a hard enough time in the matchup with Ezreal. Like, I think he already chunks enough as is, and they're making him even more powerful. Like, and then talk on who he thinks the overall winners of the patch are. Like, oh, I think Skarner's really good now because he got this buff, and I think the potential for him to shine in these interactions is very high. If you have something valuable to say, and I know he has opinions on what is happening in the current state of the game because he's played so much, like he's put so much time into the game, naturally you would. Why not voice some of that for other people to hear as well? I hope this has been a good video in some capacity. I hope this has been helpful. I want to thank you all for watching on YouTube. If you guys want to see more, check out the rest of the channel, and in the description there's links to not just my channel, but my friends' channels, and yes, including Brandon. Go drop him a follow. He is an affiliate, so if you would like to follow and subscribe him, you absolutely can. Please do so at Mupengu on Twitch, and I will see you all on YouTube later. Peace.